You don't actually have too many interests. You just keep leaving the exact moment they stop making you feel impressive. I'm going to show you the specific point where you walk away and how to stay just one step longer. Your laptop is open to the exact project you were so excited about last week. The file is still there. You scroll for a few seconds, then switch tabs without touching a single thing. You tell yourself you'll come back when you feel ready. But something in you knows that moment doesn't really come. This isn't about discipline or finding the right passion. There is a very specific moment where you lose momentum and it keeps repeating. Stay with me for a minute, because if you look around your space right now, this isn't the only thing you've left behind. There's a corner in your house you probably don't look at for too long. Not because it's messy, but because it remembers something about you. It's that dust-covered guitar leaning against the wall. It's that project tab still open on your laptop that you scroll past every single day. Or that stack of books with spines that have never been cracked. Your brain holds onto these things as unfinished loops. Every time you catch a glimpse of them, a small signal fires. You walked away. The cost isn't just a lost skill. It's the silent accumulation of a belief that you are someone who doesn't finish what they start. You tell yourself, I was serious about this once, but the truth is, you didn't throw them away. You kept them right where you can see them, just not long enough to actually feel it. You don't forget the things you leave behind. You live with them every day. And the strange thing is, you didn't lack the passion when you started. So, what actually happened? You don't actually fall in love with the skill. You fall in love with how fast you change at the beginning. Think back to day one. You're binge-watching tutorials, taking pages of notes, feeling like every hour is unlocking a new level of yourself. The thought line is always, this is it. I'm actually getting good at this. But here is the real mechanism. Your brain is getting a massive reward for the speed of understanding, not the depth of mastery. The problem is, you've tethered your motivation to that rapid growth. So when the pace slows down, your motivation evaporates. Fast feels like progress, but speed was the only thing holding you there. And then, you hit the point where that speed disappears entirely. At first, everything connects faster than you expect. Then one day, it doesn't. You've mastered the basics, but then you hit a wall. You read a concept 3 times and it still feels blurry. You open your project, stare at it for a few seconds, and then you switch tabs. The thought line is, why does this suddenly feel so heavy? Here is the mechanism. As the novelty fades, the dopamine drops. Your brain is no longer pulling you in with excitement, it's pushing you away from the effort. The cost? You quit at the exact moment the skill starts to become real. This is the plateau, and nothing is broken here. But this is where everything splits. You don't leave because it got impossible. You leave because it stopped making you feel impressive. Think back to the start. You talked about this new project with so much confidence. But a few weeks later, you stopped mentioning it entirely. The thought line is, I'm not as good at this as I thought. Here is the mechanism. The beginning gives you a fast identity, but the plateau takes that identity away, leaving behind a version of you that is slow, clumsy, and ordinary. The cost? You are building a habit of running away the moment your self-image is threatened. And that is the part you avoid. You are not quitting the skill, you are quitting the version of you it reveals. And every time you walk away here, something inside you gets weaker. There is a part of your brain that only works when you don't want to continue, and you rarely let it do its job. Look at your pattern. You hit a difficult part, you close the tab. You get a little bored, you switch to something else immediately. The thought line is always, I'll come back to this later. But the truth is, you never come back. Here is the mechanism. When you push through, even when you don't want to, the part of your brain that handles effort gets stronger. When you stop, it stays weak. The cost? Even the smallest obstacles become a big enough reason for you to quit. You have trained yourself to stop at the exact moment growth was supposed to begin. So, the solution isn't just to force yourself to suffer more. You don't need more discipline. You need one extra moment. Think about it like this. When you're about to quit at page 3, read just one more page. When you're ready to close the project, sit there for 5 more minutes. The thought line is simply, just one more. Here is the mechanism. That exact moment you do what you don't want to do is the rep that makes your brain stronger. And that counts. You don't become consistent by staying motivated. You become consistent by not leaving. Without this, you'll stay stuck in the same cycle, starting strong and quitting early. If you stay long enough just once, you'll realize you are not the person you thought you were. The truth is, you were never inconsistent. You just kept leaving at the exact moment consistency started to cost you something. You are the kind of person who learns fast in the beginning, but you've never stayed long enough to see what you become. After that speed runs out, you don't need a new interest. You need to stop exiting at the same point. Think about the last thing you left halfway. Not the idea, but the exact moment you stepped away from it. If you want to understand what happens after that moment, stay with me. It's not far from where you stopped.